So this week I was at Canterbury driving range, just practicing, hitting some shots, working on my own game, when the guy next to me, I was kind of watching him hit shots, iron shots, topping along the ground, fatting them. Whenever he got driver out, it just was all over the place. So I just went in, I said, do you mind if I kind of give you a bit of help? And he said, oh, please, please do. He said, Danny, I've spent hours and hours practicing. I just don't seem to be getting any better. And I see this a lot. He was making the same mistakes I see golfer after golfer doing. Everything he's doing is actually pushing good golf further and further away. I didn't have a load of time, but I spent just about an hour with him. And by the time we finished, his swing was looking easy and effortless. And he said in his own words, I cannot believe, Danny, how far that's going. It doesn't feel like I'm trying. It feels so much more relaxing. More importantly, it was consistent. And the smile, he was smiling. He'd gone from frustration to enjoyment. In this video, I want to show you exactly what we did, because this is a fault I see over and over again with golfers. I want to show you how you can start to develop an easy, effortless motion that helps to guarantee more and more consistent strikes, not just with your iron, but your driver too. Before I get into the video, look, if you're new to the channel, it's your first lesson of mine, please consider subscribing. At least videos like this one every single week to help you improve your game. Plus, remember, you'll never have to remember a thing. I'll always put a free download practice guide in that description box below. So Sam was in his mid to late 50s and should have been hitting the ball so much further than he actually was, particularly if you saw how much energy and effort he was putting in to the actual shot. Let me show you kind of roughly what it looked like. So he got over the golf ball like this, and this, I'm gonna exaggerate, but it kind of looked a little bit like this. Lots of energy, lots of effort coming into the shot. 70 miles an hour worth of clubhead speed, right? Now, within 20 to 30 minutes, we got him looking like this. Nice and relaxed, looking like this. So tell me what looks more relaxed, more effortless. So I've now just hit it, roughly the same distance, with a fraction of the effort. That's what I started with, Sam. I said, let's get you there first. Then what we'll do is I'll show you then how we then ramp it up, but keep it effortless. So let me show you what we did to kind of create this effortless motion first in the first 25 minutes, and then gradually show you how we ramp this up to something that just lit up his face. So like a lot of golfers, the more Sam tried, the more control he added to his golf swing, to the point at which he was gripping for dear life. There was so much tension in his body, his legs, his torso. Ultimately, he was trying really, really hard. So goal number one was to get some freedom in this club head. And it's not always as easy as it sounds. So I said to him, look, to get club head speed, the club head needs to be traveling with speed. What you're doing right now, you're not allowing the club head to swing. You're kind of like really forcing it with the body, but there's nothing going on with the club head. So I need to teach you how to let this club head swing. So if you want to start to experience what I gave with Sam, pause the video, grab a club and do this with me. So hold the club out in front of you here, and all I want you to do is feel the weight of the club just dropping. So there's a heavy weight to this. This is really, really important. So I started that off with Sam. I said, right, Sam, now what we're going to do is this. I want you to swing that weight over the head, and then all we're going to do is this. I want you to let that weight just drop down to the ground. So you're going to let it just drop. Sounds simple, doesn't it? The first thing Sam did was pick the club up and then go like this. He's still really, really rigid. So what I did initially, I said, look, let's just get a feel of this. I got him to, you've probably seen this if you watch the channel. So I got him to grab a towel to start with. And I said, look, get the towel, swing it over your trail shoulder here, and then just let the towel drop down. You'll feel like the towel almost kind of like whipping. He says, oh yeah, I feel that. It's like there's like a speeding up, isn't it? Right, so now you've got that kind of sensation of the whip. See if you can create a slightly louder noise. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It's just not that, is it? Right? It's there's a little bit of a whip. So I then said, look, put the towel down. We did this a few times, backwards and forwards. So you'd experience that kind of motion of the towel. And then what we do is we kind of go one. Imagine the towel just whipping a little bit, right? So now we start to let some flow of the club happen. Really, really important. We did this for 5, 6, 7 minutes, right? So you got that feeling. Now, we clearly want to have some control of this club. We need to control where it goes in our backswing and our follow through. So I needed to help him with some direction. So once he started to feel the club head and it was now starting to swing, I said, look, right, this is all what happens in your swing. If you hold the club out in front of you, leaving the butt alone, just hinge the club up so it points just over your trail shoulder. Not over here, not over here, just point it over your trail shoulder. So notice how everything's just working. Just hinge it there. Don't lift it, just hinge, right? Now what you're doing here is this is, look, the position of where the club's going to be in your free quarter position backswing. That's where we're going to go to today, right? Just here, right? Perfect. Simple, right? So that's your destination, your backswing. On your follow through, this is your follow through. Move the butt, leave the butt alone, hinge it over your lead shoulder, okay? Now what position is that? Well, this is now your follow through, your free quarter follow through position. So now look, we're here. So now we've got that position and that position, right? So all I want you to do now is you've got that kind of feeling. We're not going to kind of focus on those positions excessively, but you now know we're going to swing to here, and swing to here, but you're going to start to let this flow, right? So we alternated with a towel a little bit. So we grabbed the towel a little bit. We went, right, okay. So you now know this position's there and there. So ultimately, the trail elbow's folding on the way back, lead elbow's folding on the way through, and you're feeling the whip in the middle of those things. So you're feeling the whip at the middle, and you know both sides of the swing. So he's now starting to, in a sense, create, look, destination here, allowing the whip at the bottom, but we're focusing on the backswing and the downswing and allowing that flow naturally to happen. So as he starts to go, we got his feet fairly close together. So right, now let the ball get in the way of that swing so that we're collecting the golf ball on the way of that motion. So suddenly now, look at this. Backwards and forwards, we start to make a few little motions. Now, 74 miles an hour worth of clubhead speed, with speed starting to creep up. But I just, no trying to hit it very hard at this stage, just allowing the club just to swing in a really effortless way. And suddenly what we're finding is he's hitting the ball further, speed's coming up, and there's no effort. This is the starting point. Now there's just two more steps I wanted to help Sam with. One was to see if we can ramp up this power a little bit more. And the second thing was to really help him take it to the golf course. So the first thing is, just like the arms and the club, Sam was incredibly static with the body. He was really controlling the motion. If you aren't hitting the ball well, it's completely understandable for you to want to stay really rock solid. But I just gave him this exercise. We actually used, at the time, we had some range balls and a basket. So you could just grab a full basket of range balls and it does the same thing, right? So what I want you to notice here is this. In order for me to swing this with momentum, does my body stay static? Looks weird, doesn't it? It doesn't look natural. So I want you to, it says, give yourself permission to move. There's so much talk about staying still and controlling the motion, but a lot of times it's just robbing you of your natural motion in your golf swing. It certainly was Sam. So if you grab something heavy, it could be a shopping basket, it could be like I've got some heavy balls here. And what I want to do is, if I start swinging this with momentum, if I want to swing this, and I started off initially just swinging it just around about hip height, notice how really, if I'm doing it naturally, there's a natural movement of my body here to the right, and that helps me to swing the club. And then as I come back now, my body's already wanting to move back this way. Otherwise, I'd lose my balance. It naturally happens. And then look, I throw it here. So just watch for a second and notice what you see as I swing this bag backwards and forwards. Am I moving excessively right to left? Not really. I'm actually staying quite under control. But I'm not trying to stay still. There's subtle movements, and that movement is me reacting and working with the momentum that we've just created in this bag and what we've just created just a minute ago in the swinging golf club. Can you see this? Notice how my legs are almost here, pushing off the ground, pushing off the ground. That's helping me create momentum. Now, all I did with Sam is say, look, take that feeling look, and rather than now stay static, just get a sense look of you, in a sense, using that and just create some momentum. So you've got the arms working and we're swinging. And now as opposed to trying to get this motion where you're swinging the arms freely but nothing's happening with the body, you're allowing and giving yourself permission to move, to provide that momentum in this golf club, right? And if you can switch between the two, when you're particularly on the driving range, you'll start to feel how to ramp it up. So nice and simply, we almost went backwards and forwards again quite quickly. We got ourselves set here, and I said, look, don't try to move excessively. Just give yourself permission to provide some momentum, look, in this club. If there's momentum in the golf club here, your body will start to work naturally to coordinate this. So look at this in action now. So all I'm going to do now is I've slightly widened my stance just a little bit here, and I'm going to add a little bit more momentum in this motion. So it's 1, 2, right? So you should see there extra whip down at the bottom, right? And we jump up there to 84 miles an hour for clubhead speed. So what's creating this whip is this, I'm really in a sense ramping up, and as I'm coming down, my legs are kind of reacting naturally to create even more snap at the bottom. This is happening naturally. Without that momentum of the golf club, I've got nothing to coordinate, nothing for my body to communicate with, yeah? So, but if I feel that heavy weight swinging, my body then kind of works 1 and 2, right? And if I want to increase that even more, so let's say this is 7-9, if I want to increase that to, let's say, over 200 yards, I didn't suggest you do this, I'm literally going to do it even faster. I'm going to create even more momentum, let myself go even more. 1, 2, didn't quite strike that one amazing there, but you'll probably see the speed jump up. There we go, look, 93 miles an hour over clubhead speed, right? So you can see here, the only way I can create all of this, and this is what I was saying to Sam, is by learning to, again, allow that momentum in the clubhead and allow the freedom of the body to provide even more momentum in the backswing and in the downswing. Now, to take it to the golf course, I gave him one final thing. I said, look, you can't think of all that stuff on a course. So you do the practice on the practice ground, and then what I want you to do is this. You know, there are 3 kind of key points to the swing. Right at the top, right at impact, and right on the way through. And I don't want you to be trying to really fixing and trying to achieve all those positions. It just leads to tension. So I gave him something that I learned from a wonderful coach who wrote a brilliant book, The Inner Game of Golf, back in 1974. Wonderful exercise. And I said, look, when you feel the club head reaches the top of your swing, I just want you to say, da. When it reaches impact, when you notice it reaches impact, say da. And when it finishes, say da. At no stage do I want you to try to hit a position there and there. If you do, you'll just breed tension. There's a big difference between trying to hit the position versus, oh, there it is, there it is, and there it is. I'm paying attention, I'm observing. So it looks like this. Da, da, da. So I got him to make a few swings. Just kind of imagine this. So you're on a golf course now. Da, da, da. And you can see here I'm coordinating this motion backwards and forwards. And as he's doing this, it's just da, da, da. He could feel himself every so often losing focus. Am I doing it right, Danny? Ignore all of that. Sam, you keep paying attention. Can you feel the club there, there, and there? If you lose it, your only objective is to find it again. Da, da, da. And we started off, and his timing and his rhythm, da, da, da. Right? Now, he wanted clearly to hit that ball even further. So all he did now was speed up the motion. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Now he got the timing and the rhythm, he knew he could do this. So da, da, da. And bit by bit, that is what he took to the golf course. And that is what he started to kind of just booming great big smile on his face. So look, I really hope this puts a smile on your face. Please, 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 this is one of the most important things any of you can do in the golf swing. Start to let the club swing freely. Start to allow some freedom in that body. Don't try and lock it down all the time. And I promise you, you're going to start to feel it's just more effortless. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you know somebody who would really appreciate this, please share it. If you're new to the channel, press that subscribe button and the bell. If you'd like to see myself getting a lesson from the world's #1 golf coach, check this lesson I did with Pete Cowan. It's an absolute beauty. Until next week, have a wonderful golfing week.